So what I want to talk to you guys a little bit about is how do we take it and put it into motion. So one of the 11 things is running a staff meeting every week. Who here runs an office staff meeting with your assistants, a formal one, every week? Okay, good. It's all the top offices. Look at that. Guys who just raised their hands were basically 5 of our top 6 offices. Okay, so that's one of the 11 things. Well, so then you ask yourself the question, why am I not running a staff meeting every week? Well, what's holding me back? Why is that not getting implemented? Well, here's probably the reason. One of them is A, it's not scheduled. Number 2 is that, I don't know what to run. That might be part of it. I just don't have something planned. I remember being a district manager, by the way. I had a hard time just getting my team meeting pulled off every week. And sometimes I just pull that off 5 minutes before the meeting started. You're doing this, so you showed up. You're going to cover this. I stand up there and wing something. I pull something out of some notes I had somewhere. It's lame. But that's also the reason why I didn't run key staff sometimes. I didn't have something planned. I didn't want to prepare something. That's oftentimes the reason why it doesn't happen. Well, here's the solution. Here's your meeting every week. It's planned. Just take this out and sit down with your staff and go through and answer the questions. It's that simple. There's your meeting every week. You got a plan. Now all you have to do is pick a time and you're in business. You got one of the 11 knocked out. So for this organization where we have like 6 people doing it consistently, that would be a huge plus. Okay? Any questions on it? This is pretty fairly straightforward. You just go through there and you fill it out. You ask yourself, when are we going to do some PCs? When are we going to run our phone jams? When are we going to get some active advertising going? When's our focus time? You just answer the questions. There's your meeting. Now, what if you don't have any AMs? Pick the meeting time, do it for yourself, and bring in a key rep, bring in your ERA, bring in whoever you got, right? Okay? But run the meeting. That's part of the steps. It's part of the process. So this is a solution to implementation. I think if I had to grade this document, I made this document. I made it like 5 minutes about 5 months ago. I wasn't 5 months ago, 3 months ago. And I would probably give this like a C- in terms of quality of document. But I would tell you that if you used it, you'll get an A+ in results. Okay? It's not great. If you guys started using it, I guarantee you we would get an A+ document, because after you start using it, you go, this would be better if we adjusted this or made this change, this would make it easier. I noticed, whatever. We should see people using it to get it really good. But at this point, you can start this next week. Okay, so this is part of the implementation answer. Any questions on running a weekly staff meeting? Do I need to give you the reasons why it's a good idea? Do I need to sell it any further? Why you should do it, other than our top offices are doing it? Okay. All right, let's go on then. Here's another one. I do want to do a little selling on this one. I know your DVMs have probably been selling this as well, but I want to sell a little more. And that is having a set PDI time. Having a set PDI time. And I know we've got a lot of offices that made a switch recently, but who here has a set PDI time every day? That's pretty good, about 35% of the room. That's good. We're making some progress there. When the set PDI, by the way, when I first started the business, when I was a branch, I didn't know any better. I just did everything I was told to do. In fact, I used to have like 2,700 PPR. Anyway, I used to do set PDIs. Then I fell in love with call after every demo, or actually we didn't have that originally. What I got to was PDI is so good, I have assistants, call in anytime you want, because I'll always have somebody here. So we're always available. I just thought, wow, that's a really cool service. That's got to be the best. That way I'll make sure there's no excuses for me talking to every particular person on the team, and that's got to be the best. So all of a sudden, I no longer thought set PDI time was a good idea. It actually sounded kind of lame. It's way better to be able to be available for my reps at any time. That was what I thought. I even thought that as a division manager, and when I hear anything otherwise, I thought something different. And then call after every demo. Ooh, I really like that one, because we help reps closed sales, and I had all kinds of justification as to why I thought that was really awesome. And I even believed that as a region manager for quite some time, until I really started digging into it, looking into it, figuring it out, and got away from my attachment. You know, because all of us have attachments to things, doesn't mean that they're better. I got rid of my attachment to call after every demo, and I really, really believe it is night and day better to have a set PDI time. So let me share with you some of the reasons why I believe that, because this helped me in my process. Okay, number one, there's lots of benefits of PDI. There's a lot of benefits to PDI. There's a lot of things we get done on PDI. But if you can only get one thing done on PDI, there's only one thing you can get done on PDI. It's get them on the phone. Okay? I don't want to simplify PDI down to only that, but if you're not getting that done, you're not doing good PDI. Because there's lots of things you can get accomplished and other things other than PDI. Okay, but you got to get them on the phone. Well, here's the deal. If you got to get them on the phone, then when should your set PDI time be? It should be right before a good phone time. Okay? It should be right before a good phone time. So like having set PDI time at noon, not a good idea. Make sense? So your set PDI time should probably be right before it's good phone time in the evening, or in the morning, or whatever, but you get the idea. It should be right before a good phone time. Because the whole idea is that if I catch my rep, talk to my rep, I can say, get on the phone. If we get that to happen, we're going to get sales. Make sense? Now, then of course, the argument comes in. Well, that sounds really good, Boyd, but how am I going to do set PDI time and run my interview? That's when I run an interview. When am I going to run my 18 then? That's when I run my 18. That's when I ship all my orders. That's when I yada, 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 yada. I'm running training. Right? Well, here's the deal. You got to rearrange your schedule a little bit until you get the right staff to cover it. Because before you were answering it after every demo, so you weren't doing that after every demo unless you were doing nothing else but sitting by the phone and had everything else delegated, right? So pick a time that's a smart time, whether that's, and there's probably not a perfect time. You can kind of gauge what you think that is, okay? But, whether it's 5 to 6:30, whatever, try to catch them right before that phone time, something like that, whatever. Because you can run an afternoon interview, you can run a 6:30 interview at the end of your PDI session. I mean, you can make that work. Then you might say, well, that's why I ship my orders. Well, why don't you just make your order shipment time a little different? See, when we start running our business around FedEx, we got our priorities wrong. Does that make sense? Right? When FedEx becomes more important than your PDI time, we got it wrong. Okay? We used to do our order shipment on Sunday night, and then we cut it off at Sunday night, even though we didn't ship till Monday. That's what we grew up doing back in the old days. The end of the week was Sunday night, even though we didn't ship it till Monday. Because once you get through 1 week, it's all the same. It's carryover work. It's the same. It doesn't really matter what you do your shipment cut off on Thursday. It doesn't matter after 1 week. So here's the deal. Don't get hung up on shipment time. Okay? You just have an order cutoff time. Your reps don't know the difference. That's shipment time. That's order, whatever. That is shipment time. You cut off there. That's what you have to do. If you want to ship it, it's got to be in those time. So anyway. All right, so what other objections could come in the way? All right, well, how about your training? Because here's the deal. I think you should have the same set PDI time every day. Why? Well, because your reps, they don't remember anything, they don't write anything down. And if it's the same time every day, at least maybe they'll remember that. And so if that's the case, you could run into a problem because you go, well, wait a minute. What happens on the weekends? If it was me, I just keep it the same. So like if it's 5, 6:30 or whatever, just keep it the same. So that means when I launch a rep on Saturday, what time do we launch these days? 3 o'clock? What time? 3, 4, something like that. So what I would tell a sales rep when they launch,